Hello everyone, my name is Lone Wolf, and today I'd like to give you a review of NativShark. Today is May 18th, 2024, and I'm in Phase 2, Unit 137 at the moment, but today I'll be going through Phase 2, Unit 138. So to start off with the website, this is the default look of it. It's this dark mode, but you can also come up here and toggle the moon, and it gives you a light mode. I prefer dark mode, so that's what we'll stick with. So, after that, we can go over here and we can click Study Now. And it'll load our flashcards. This is what the flashcards look like as of now for Phase 2. So, for example, if you do here, you can play the mail audio.
ダウンロードが完了しました。
ダウンロードが完了しました。
Conjugation, so that's completion. And here we have some context at the bottom. You have three options. You can hit the cry face, the neutral face, or the smiley face. NativShark recommends that you hit the smiley face 99% of the time. And I knew this word, so that's what we're going to do. Here we have a sentence card, or a lesson card, and this is Oki na chigai wa nai desu. So there's not much difference. Here we have the context. You're a pharmacist. You give two options for painkillers for headaches to a customer. He asks what's the difference between the two. There really isn't a big difference. And also they have little notes here that say, just saying this would be blunt, so we can assume the pharmacist continued to explain the difference. Here we can see what lesson it's from. We can click Lesson Summary, and it gives us a small summary with a button to go to the main lesson. Again, we can listen to the male audio.
大きな違いはないです。
大きな違いはないです。
And the female audio. Here there's also a formality marker, so usually it'll be textbook formal, formal, textbook casual, and casual. Here we have a literal breakdown of the sentence, and then we just have each individual word.
あれ？私都合のいい女じゃね？
あれ、私都合のいい女じゃね。
Another really awesome thing about NativShark is that it uses the vocabulary that you learn in the lesson card. So for example, this is tsugo. It means circumstances or convenience. Keep an eye on the kanji, the literal translation, and if you'd like to, you can go back and rewind the audio to listen to the word before you hear the audio from the lesson card.
隣の佐々木さん、奥さんの仕事の都合で上海に引っ越すことになったんですって。
隣の佐々木さん、奥さんの仕事の都合で上海に引っ越すことになったんですって。
That may have been a bit difficult for you to hear, so I'm going to show you the literal translation, and of course you can already see the kanji, but I'll also show you the lesson that it's from. And this is what you'll see when you finish reviews. Now that I've finished my reviews, I'd like to take you through what a study day looks like, from the lesson, to the kanji, to the vocabulary, and the dialogue. As we can see, this lesson is about Vimashoka. At the very top, we get a quick breakdown of the overall lesson, and then we'll go more in depth. Each lesson has an example sentence, or multiple, with both male and female audio.
ベビーカーお預かりしましょうか？
ベビーカーお預かりしましょうか？
I'm going to show you a fast-forwarded clip of this lesson, that way I just don't bore you to death. At the end of the lesson, there are some sentence reviews that you can choose to add to your lessons for tomorrow, or you can just archive them, which means they don't show up at all. And now we've made it to the kanji cards. So these are kanji shown to you in isolation with the English meaning. I don't like to learn them this way because I prefer to learn them in vocabulary, but I'll do two just to show you what they look like. I'll do the one for thunder and lightning and for romance. So each kanji comes with the English representation and a mnemonic, and the purple highlighted words are words that build up the kanji. So you've seen these before, and then the pink word is the word that you're learning. In the vocabulary cards, you actually get a kanji breakdown, which shows you the English representation of the kanji. So I prefer to do that, and I'll just go ahead and archive these for now. Now we've made it to the new vocabulary cards. I'm going to show you what one looks like, and then I'll do the rest in a sped up time lapse. This one should sound familiar to you if you've ever seen Naruto, because it's in all the village leaders' titles, such as Hokage, Mizukage, and so on.
見て、自分の影と戦ってる。
見て、自分の影と戦ってる。
Now that we've finished the vocabulary, we can move on to the dialogue. You'll get one of these at the end of each unit. They're to show what a natural conversation looks like in the real world. So, let's go ahead and take a listen.
写真撮ろう。3、2、1。
撮りましょうか？
ありがとうございます。お願いします。
はい、チーズ。目つぶっちゃったんで、もう一回行きますね。はい、チーズ。こんな感じで大丈夫ですか？
バッチリです。ありがとうございます。
If you had trouble following along, you can scroll back up and review. And you can also take a look at the English translation. After you finish your unit for the day, you're returned back to the home page. You don't have to do another unit, but you can if you're below your threshold. I'm recording this a few days later, but I'd like to show you some things, such as the flashcards. They're divided up into 3 sections: kanji, lesson, and vocabulary cards. I really enjoy these, and you can search by status, phase, unit, and mastery. So let's take a look at one such as Nani, which is the first one you learn. And as you can see, it means what, and the translation is what. However, there are some times where it can be a bit difficult to find a word. Here's an example. This is the word hikaru. The translation you're given, or the meaning you're given, is to shine, but the English translation says this thing glows in the dark. And this translation is correct, but if you just try to write to shine, it does not show up. However, there are some cool things that you can do with the search feature. For example, let's say I'm trying to find the word for power of an electronic, like the power switch of an electronic. Well, I don't know the word for it, but I know it has the kanji den, like electricity. So I can search up den. Like denki is electricity, but we'll just delete the second kanji because we just want this one. We can click apply and search until we find the word we're looking for, which is dengen. Another tab I want to show you is the shadow loops tab. You can find it by going to library and pressing shadow loops. Now, there are some issues, such as it only goes to phase 1 as of now, and each of these changes that you make are not respected by the system, meaning it only repeats 3 times, and there's only 1.5 seconds in between. So, regardless of that, it's still very useful, and it's divided up in between vocabulary, dialogue, and lesson. I used to listen to these while I was doing my walks in the morning, but you don't have to use these, and you could just watch native materials if you want to. However, I think it helped me solidify some of my vocabulary. Another cool tab is the Conjugation Drills tab. So for instance, if I type the word taberu, I will get conjugations like the passive, causative, volitional, and so on. And I also get what type of verb it is. So this is an ichidan verb. I can also look up shinu, so to die. And I can see that it is a godan verb and its conjugations. And if I look up the verb suru, I can see that it's supposed to be an irregular verb. Yeah, there we go. An irregular verb. And all of its conjugations. I think this is a really neat tab. And if you have a dictionary on your phone, sometimes it will give you some of these forms. But this is a nice addition. I want to make sure I show you review sets because I think they can be useful to you. So what I use review sets for is to build my own quick access flashcards or just something to look back on real quick. For example, I'm building video game vocabulary and I have one card in here right now, but that's fine. And the English translation says Anna acquired a magic key, but this is the target word. So if I wanted to find this word, all I have to do is go to the flashcards, type this in, or just copy and paste it, and I'll find it. Okay, now let's say there's a grammar point that you're trying to find, like the te form. Well, all you can do is look up te and form, and you can find things like this. It can be a little bit difficult to find things, but for the most part, it does pretty good. So here's a list of units and lessons that involve the te form. Or if you want to do ba conditional, you can also do that. See, forming conditional is using ba. Okay, if you've made it this far, or you've just skipped to the end, you might be wondering, how much does NativShark cost? Well, I'm going to show you that right now. Here we can see there are 3 subscription plans. There's Build Monthly, Build Yearly, and you can choose to make a one-time payment. But I understand if you're hesitant to make a one-time payment as it is a lot of money and they're not finished with it yet. We're only on phase 3. So if you do choose to do the yearly plan, I would suggest waiting until they have a sale, like the summer sale or Thanksgiving sale, because you actually can get this $185 cheaper. For example, I think I did the summer subscription and I got mine for $125 a year, which, I mean, that's a big improvement in terms of price. And in conclusion, what do I think of NativShark? Do I think it's worth the price and do I recommend it? I think NativShark is a great resource for learning Japanese, but it does need some work. In fact, Caleb, the co-founder of NativShark, is actually working on a NativShark 1.5 update and a NativShark 2.0 update, as well as a Japanese app for iOS and Android. So do I think it's worth the price? I think it is worth it for the yearly price. I really do. I think monthly could be a bit more expensive, but you could do it for a month or two and decide if you think it's worth it. But I think the yearly is definitely worth it. As long as you get it on a sale, I think the sale really helps. If you'd like to do the lifetime plan because you just have that much faith in it, then go ahead. If you have that type of money, that's perfectly fine. It's got a completely free trial. It's 7 days. You don't have to put in a credit card or anything. So just give it a shot. But I would recommend learning hiragana and katakana first. Do I recommend NativShark? Absolutely. I do not think I would be where I'm at in my Japanese journey without it. I came from Genki 1 and 2. I did the workbooks. I did the sections in the back of the book and everything. And I do think that NativShark has prepared me better than Genki 1 and 2 has. So, what have I accomplished with NativShark so far as of today? Well, I finished reading Rui Dragon. I had a few hiccups here and there. If you go to the NativShark Discord, you can definitely see where I've had some trouble. But there were times where I could read whole pages in a row and not have any problems. Or I could look up one or two words in the dictionary and find it. Like on the dictionary on my phone, I could find words and just go about reading. I'm also able to hear words and pick up words that I've learned from NativShark while watching YouTube and anime. So, my main goal is to just basically be able to read manga and watch anime, and eventually I just want to be able to live my life in Japanese if I want to do that, and I think NativShark will get me there. So, that's all I have for you today. I just want to do an updated review of NativShark because I haven't seen anyone else do a review as of late, and the last review that I saw was from a few years ago, and the platform looks a little bit different now. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you give NativShark a try. All right, well, that's all for me. Bye-bye.